So tonight we're going to make beef stroganoff, and we're going to be following a recipe in a book by Emerald. And here's the recipe, and so we're kind of following along here with the beef stroganoff. Over here we kind of set them out. We've got some, wow, nice looking steak. That's going to get chopped into small strips for the beef stroganoff. We got tomato paste, beef broth, and parsley, and some flour. I think we've got a few more ingredients. We don't have them all out yet. So we put these noodles in a few minutes ago, probably about 10 minutes, 8 minutes, and they're about ready. Egg noodles don't take very long to cook. So we've got a colander over here that we're going to drain all the noodles out. And you don't want to overcook the noodles because they'll be soft. So what we've got are some noodles, and we are going to take this over here. And this is a good shot, Katie, so this will be good. And just drain them into the colander, out like that. It's hot water, so be careful. So we've got the ingredients here, and you can see that there's a number of them. And we're going to get a large, heavy saucepan. And this is what we're going to make it in, make the stroganoff in. And it's a big pan, big, heavy. So, let's see. The first thing is probably going to be sauteing some onions. Got some onions here. These are nice yellow onions. We're going to do a couple of those. Okay, so we're going to chop 2 medium-sized onions, and I cut off the ends like that and then split them and then just peel them. That's the easiest way for me to peel them and cut. So just chop 2 onions. This is how I do them, just like that. These are old onions, you can see, because they're kind of coming apart. But chop them, and we're going to dice them, and then we're going to start to saute them. And watch you don't cut your fingers. And this is where a sharp knife actually helps and makes things go safer than it's hard to explain, but basically with a sharp knife you don't have to push and force the knife down very much. Okay, there we go. Chopped onions. Alright, so big saucepan. We chose the biggest one we had. It's going to probably occupy most of this volume. So put it on medium heat probably. No, medium high. And I always cook with olive oil. I don't know. This is other stuff you cook with, but I don't measure. I mean, I measure some, but not that much. I just kind of do what I think is about right. So get the pan coated. And we're going to throw the onions in here that we chopped up. So here we've got all these onions. We're going to start sauteing them. Okay, we've got really nice pieces of meat. So we're going to slice these into strips. And it really helps to have a sharp knife here. It makes a lot less work when you've got a sharp knife. And you can see that's some nice looking steak we're going to use in this thing. And these are all going to be kind of bite size. The onions are browning nicely, or sauteing nicely in the olive oil. And we'll let that get a little better, and then we're going to toss in this beef strip and kind of brown it with 1 teaspoon of salt and a ½ teaspoon of pepper. So we're going to add a little bit of ground pepper and salt. And again, I'm not really measuring. I guess I should probably measure a little more, but I don't. And some salt. Nothing special, just not much. Okay, so now we're going to throw in the beef strips and we're going to brown them with the onions. These go in and just, they don't cook very long. You're just trying to brown them and get them braised, lightly braised. Keep stirring, let them cook for a little while. That looks good. That looks good. About done. No longer red, and it's just kind of braised on the outside. And I'm just trying to get all the pieces that I see. Try to flip them over so they're cooking on. They're braised on both sides. And once that is done, we're going to go to the next step. You don't want to overcook that beef. And I would say that's about done. Okay. What we're going to do now is we're going to transfer what's in here in the saucepan, the meat and the onions, out of this saucepan, because we're going to now brown and saute the mushrooms in the butter. So, okay. So we've got some butter here. We used olive oil to saute the beef, but we're going to use butter to do the mushrooms. And the butter adds flavor and richness, but you probably want to use it sparingly, or somewhat sparingly.
By the way, it says 5 tablespoons.
It's what?
The recipe calls for 5 tablespoons.
That's probably about the right amount. One of the things we got to do, oh, you know what? We've got to prepare these mushrooms. Let's let that butter melt off the flame. Alright, so now we got to prepare these mushrooms. Here we go. Have a look at these mushrooms. Nice, beautiful mushrooms. They do need to get washed. So we're going to get a colander out, and we're going to wash them, and then we're going to cut them some. Oh yeah, these are beautiful. These are nice mushrooms. Okay, so we wash these mushrooms. Now we're going to cut them up. We're going to cut them into some kind of a medium to size slices. And again, these are going to cook down, so no matter how much it seems like it is, by the time we're done with it, it's going to cook down a lot. So I'm just kind of slicing these up some, not small slices, pretty decent sized slices actually. They could probably go a little smaller. And then I'm just going to throw these in as I come. Let's see, let's get this going again. So really it looks like we need a little more butter. I didn't put enough. So my measurement was off, and I can tell because I look in that pan and there's not much butter, but what we can do is, and I like to do this, is mix butter with olive oil. Olive oil is healthier for you, but it kind of, you get the taste of the butter.
Can I see the picture?
Not yet. Okay, so I'm going to continue slicing these mushrooms. I enjoy cooking. It's kind of fun. Plus, if you basically cook, you get to decide what you eat, and that's almost a reason itself for cooking. So more mushrooms. These are going to go in here, and they're going to cook down. And we're going to get the top on this. Oh yeah, that's starting to smell pretty good. Look at the dog. You can see the dog has come in and now is trying to lick whatever meat is still on that cutting board. We're going to add some beef broth. To this pan over here. And meanwhile, the mushrooms are still cooking, and they're going to reduce down a lot, and we might just add this to the other pan here in a second. But I wanted to get it in this pan because we've got to put in that tomato paste. Yeah, there you go. Look at that. That looks really yummy. Alright, so we're going to squeeze in, and we've got a measurement. 1 tablespoon. So not much. So we are going to says 1 tablespoon. So we're going to squeeze in, that's about a tablespoon. I don't think it's a lot, I think it's just for flavoring. It's not a tomato-based sauce though. So this is all I wanted to do with this. I just wanted somewhere to get that paste kind of dissolved. And then we're going to whisk in some white flour. And this is going to thicken that liquid up a lot as soon as we do this. Okay, so we're gonna transfer this back over here into this pan. Oh yeah, see, and it's already starting to thicken up. So now we're gonna add the beef back into this, and you can see now we're talking. Now we're starting to look like beef stroganoff. Oh yeah, and just kind of coat everything in that thick, nice gravy. Actually, I think a little more liquid could be added to that. So this is the part where, you know, something's going on and you don't know you don't know if it's looking right or not. And this is where common sense comes into cooking. I mean, if it looks like something's too thick or too thin or whatever, you can adjust things a little bit with all recipes, is my belief. Okay, so we've got that going. Now we've got to add a few more items. Next one is the mustard. We've got 2 teaspoons Dijon mustard. So let's see, here's Dijon mustard. So we are going to add in 2 teaspoons. A little bit more, but I kind of like it. And the other thing I want to add is some horseradish. And I think horseradish adds a lot to... There we go. Kind of adds a little kick. Okay. Yeah, not a lot, but enough to taste it. So, we're getting to the end of this, and this is looking pretty good. We got the beef strips in there, we've got the noodles already made over here, we've got the beef stroganoff, and let's see, we've got a little bit of parsley. So we're gonna, this is just, I think, a garnish on this thing. Wash it, then we're going to chop it up, and we're going to put it on the top. Okay, so we're pretty much done. We made the noodles earlier, they're ready to go. So basically get the noodles, put them on your plate, and add the beef stroganoff on top, and you have got a very good meal. And you know what? I think we've got some black Russian rye bread. I think we've got some rye bread we could have with it too. Okay, so there's some of the egg noodles we made earlier, and we're just going to add some beef stroganoff on top of that. And that looks pretty good, actually. It's got a kind of a peppery, spicy, it's got a little bit of horseradish in it, and we add a little bit of garnish of parsley, and that is beef stroganoff.